Next is to trust or not to trust. It is impossible for people who are untrustworthy to become trustworthy simply because you want them to be that way. Trust is a matter of character. Some folks are untrustworthy because of the belief patterns that are tied to their past experiences. They may have learned or come to believe that trustworthiness is not important. Others are untrustworthy as a matter of conscious or unconscious choice. People show you who they are and what they do. This is not to say people can't change. They can. Nevertheless, you must trust what you see people do and build your self-trust muscle until you have the capacity to say no to their inappropriate or unacceptable behavior the first time you encounter it. While it is possible to love untrustworthy people, continuing to place your trust in them is not wise. Trust grows from and deepens within intimacy. Trust in others requires that you first and foremost learn to be intimate with yourself. The more intimate you are with yourself, the more truth you can tell about yourself. The more time you spend in contemplation of what makes you tick, the more you know who you are, and the more you will learn about whom you can trust. When you are not intimate with yourself, your attempts to trust others will always fall short because you will overlook key elements and important signs revealed in their behavior. Self-intimacy fosters understanding. An understanding of yourself supports you in learning to see and understand other people. Understanding people is essential to your ability to trust them. This level of understanding is the result of the many small interactions and connections that occur over time. In the process, you learn to trust people's way of being, how they show up in a room, in a community, and in the world. I can agree with that. I'm gonna tell you. So, um, it's just happened to me in my life, but yeah. So like gossiping, some people were, and they basically were gossiping and they didn't care, right? And then like you can hear it, but they didn't say it. Like you know how you can read people's energy and stuff. Like they didn't say it, but they were like talking about somebody, and I'm like I don't want to say it because that's not I don't like that's the dumb business, but it's like, and I'm like okay I can't trust that person because I feel like if they could talk about anybody, they could talk about me, you know. Like people, like some people you can't trust with information because they gonna spill the beans. Some people can hold water, they can't, or they just are too messy. Like some people like being messy. Some people like gossip, and that's what they like to do. That like you know, like I like watching reality TV shows, and I say that I do. You see my reactions. I like that. It's nothing wrong with that. But I'm not messy. I'm on my business. Okay, you do what you do. I see people with my eyes. What I see people do, be like, you gotta do with me, girl. Next. I don't be thinking about the next person because it ain't me. That's not my life. That's not my choice. And you gotta keep on pushing people. But some people can't do that because some people be worried about you and what you doing and what you wearing and this and this and this and this and that and that and that. Okay, girl. Okay, I don't got time for that. I be in Diamond Land. I be like, girl, what you gonna eat today, girl? I don't know. I just you know, it's just But back to the book. Self-protection. There's always an element of risk involved with trust. So you must be willing to risk being wrong about what you feel and sense. That means you must take precautions. If protecting yourself by trusting what you know means hurting other people's feelings, so be it. Thank you. That's what I be saying about somebody that's being honest, but to them, they're not seeing that because they don't see that in themselves. Like how people say things about you, some people could be projecting onto you. Like when somebody says, "Okay, well, let's read back." I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Okay. This is a good book though. Definitely purchase it. I feel like it was definitely worth it because I down myself. So yeah. Because how they feel. People feelings get hurt. The truth hurts. Okay, people are telling me truths and it has hurt it, but I'm okay. I survived. Okay, like you, like I have a level of self awareness, y'all. But there you go. They can and will recover. However, when you trust yourself, your first thought will not be about anyone else. They will be about you and what feels right for you. Remember, when you do not trust yourself, you can't and will not trust anyone else. Instead, you ignore your inner voice and intuitive like inklings and tell yourself that what you feel is wrong. Why? Because your suspicions will not hold the other person in a good light. When you can't face the truth, you find yourself making excuses for the demonstrated bad behavior that provides a clear indication that the person can't be trusted. Bingo. A lot of people do it. They be like, no, but that's not how the person is. And no, they do. You just not accepting the fact that's how the person is. You can't change somebody. The only way people can change is if they want to change themselves and they have to make the decision. You can't make somebody change. Like you could stick around, but that doesn't mean they'll change. Okay. Look, when people like, you know, often you will ignore the warning signs because they're simply too stressful or just too difficult to acknowledge. On the circumstances, go against what you want to believe and accepting the truth will create a domino effect in your life. So you dismiss or deny the very clear, intuitive, and explicit messages you receive by expecting people to live up to a level or a capacity of trustworthiness that they simply can't or choose not to honor. When you do not trust yourself, what you feel and what you know, you will expect people to be who they are not. You will hope against hope that they will do things you already know they can't do. You will expect them to be who you want them to be rather than trusting what you know about who they are and what they are capable of doing. This is not trust. This is magical thinking and engaging in what will set you up for a big letdown. Trusting yourself is important when dealing with others because it protects you from repeated violations and devastating heartbreaks. That's true. So basically, I'm gonna just bring it. I'm sorry. So basically, I did this myself for people like, well, people could be this great person, and they could do this, that, but they don't do that. Like, you have to see people of how they are. Like, if the person, like, some people are extremely self-critical, all that, self-awareness, thinking 20%, okay, but you have a way of looking at people and seeing like they could do this, they could do that, but they don't what you think about them, because what you think and see in other people, they may not see in themselves. I think, honestly. Trust yourself. You're able to read situations, environments, and people in a way that supports your personal boundaries and keeps you safe. Self-trust also equips you to communicate to others clearly regarding what is and what is not acceptable. You know what feels right and what does not, and you do not question what you fulfill in response to what others may do or say. Never measure your inner clarity in response to what someone else may say or do. When you trust yourself, people can't talk you out of what you know from within. In fact, tell others what you know as a demonstration that they can and will not put one over you. You then have the ability and willingness to alter your behavior in a way that protects you and promotes an environment in which you feel safe, an environment you can trust. Oh no, that's definitely true. Like, people, like, a lot of people have questioned my character, and people have called me crazy. I'm like, I'm not crazy. I just don't take nonsense, or they don't like how you just not gonna take what people say. So when you respond, it's like you're the bad guy. No, I'm not the bad guy. If you would have sat there, ate your food, and been quiet, maybe I would have not said what I said to you. So maybe you should think twice, okay, before you say anything to me, because I will gather you very fast, okay? I don't care about how you feel, because guess what? When you come for me, I'm gonna come for you harder, okay? I got what I said with words. I know how to use words, okay? I'm sorry, guys. Like, I know how to use my words. I can read people down daily, okay? Once I figure a person out, read them down, honey, okay? To the ground. That's not good. But I just learned how to use my words, because fighting don't solve anything, because they'll be talking after the night. But to me, I'm hurt your feelings. And then if I hurt your feelings, it's okay. Because sometimes people really need to get hurt. Like, you really need to tell people about themselves. Because I'm not saying it's not right. I'm just saying, like, some people, I don't really care. Like, once you do something to me, say something to me, I don't really care how you feel. Because guess what? I'm gonna go to you. I'm not gonna go to your level. I'm just gonna gather you. So you think about yourself and what you done. Okay? Because a lot of people try to project and be like people be like, oh, people try to project as this bad character when you show up and who you are. Like, a person, I heard from somebody had beef with me. I'm like, how can you have a one-sided beef? Like, or what? But yeah, anyways, when you trust yourself, you know that it's okay to see people as they are without feeling bad when what you know does not put them in a good light. When you know certain people have a prosperity of dishonesty, there is no need to feel bad about it. Trust yourself enough to take precautions about how you participate in their stories and activities, and adjust what you expect from your interactions with them accordingly. When you trust yourself, you don't feel bad about knowing the truth about yourself or anyone else. Exactly. The truth is the truth. You can't run away. Like, it's the truth. That's your truth. It's okay to say your truth. Nothing wrong with that. As human beings, you want to think the best about everyone, but the truth is not everyone can be trusted. Some people are at a place in their own growth and learning where they do not honor themselves enough for you to trust them. It is also true that some people at their current level of development do not deserve to be trusted. Yes, people can change. Yes, people can do deserve a second chance. Yes, there will be those instances when you think everything seems fine, only to discover later that it was not. When you trust yourself, you will take clear, definitive action in the moment you feel an inkling or see signs that something is off. In learning to trust others, you must learn how to distinguish between your current inner knowing and judgment about other people's past or past behaviors. Trusting others requires a level of intimacy, a depth of understanding, and clear evidence that the people being trusted have the capacity to honor and live up to your expectations. Performance data. Trusting others is both of a logical and an emotional experience that requires that your head and heart come into agreement. Logically, you can learn whether or not you can trust people by calculating the risk involved. You may have faith in human nature and potential, however, you must also trust what you know based on what you have seen and experienced. In business, this is called performance data. Trusting others requires that you gather and access the data being provided through communication and behavior before you invest your trust. The logical assessment has nothing to do with expecting people to earn your trust. To do that is to ask others essentially to guarantee that they will not make any mistakes as they learn to live up to your expectations. That is not going to happen. People will make mistakes and in doing so they may hurt your feelings or sensibilities. That does not mean they can't be trusted. The logical assessment is required in learning to trust others mean that you must determine through intimate contact and communication whether or not who they are and what they do keeps you safe, and whether or not the way they are being with you on feels honorable and honest. When people never show up when they say they will, or when they always have an excuse or reason for not doing what they say they will, you can draw the logical conclusion about them. They probably can't be trusted with more important things like your heart. This brings us to the emotional experience of trusting others. We all have valid reasons not to trust people. People lie, people forget, people will do whatever they think they need to do to get what they want for somebody. People make mistakes. People are emotionally clumsy and negligent. People will constantly unconsciously hurt our feelings, then deny or become defensive about what they have done. When it comes to trusting others, it requires that we are willing to be vulnerable and risk being hurt. For average card-carrying human beings, allowing ourselves to be vulnerable and being taken advantage of is one of our greatest fears. This great fear coupled with the fear of rejection, the fear of abandonment, the fear of failure, the fear of disappointment, the fear of being wrong, the fear of being ridiculed or of looking stupid, and the fear of losing love makes trusting others an almost impossible task. Yet, as human, we crave companionship, connection, love, and intimacy with others. These cravings can often make us hyper vigilant about managing and controlling what others do and how they do. You will not grow emotionally and learn to trust others if or when they are attempting to control them. Instead, you must be intimate with an understanding of yourself enough to know that no matter what happens and no matter what other people do or don't do, you will be okay. And hope you enjoyed this reading. Bye.